everybody, welcome back to the Country Chats podcast. Series 2 is rocking and raring and it's going really well so far, and I'm delighted to have a female guest here on the show today from County Tipperary. It's Aishling Rafferty. Aishling, how are you?
I'm very good, thanks, Sandra. How are you keeping?
Great, thank you. It's great to have the chats today, and I don't know what the weather is like down at you, but here in Mayo it's a fab day.
Well, I'm just looking out the window here. We're not as lucky now in Tipperary today. It's a bit cloudy and overcast, but you could get over that with the evenings getting brighter and everything.
Absolutely. So. It's lovely to be able to have the chats with yourself today, and I've been looking forward to it. So it's lovely because I haven't met you yet, but I've been following you on social media, and yeah, I know one thing we definitely have in common, and I've been dying to talk about. We'll get to in a few minutes, but you're from Tipperary and you're only 19, is that right?
I am, yeah. I'm from a lovely little place here in North Tipperary called Knockshigowna, and it's a very small place. We've a GAA club, a pub, and a big hill. That's kind of our tourist attraction here. So we've Knockshigowna Hill. So that's really Knockshi, a lovely little place and a very tight-knit community. And I'm 19 years old, as you said.
Fair play, that's great. Yes, I had looked up the village you're from, but I didn't want to go butchering the pronunciation. So Tipperary was all I was going to say. But no, it sounds lovely. So you look, there's lots to talk about, but I suppose the Leaving Cert didn't happen for you last year. So you were in Leaving Cert and you were due to do the Leaving Cert, and now you're in college. And tell us a bit about where you are.
So, like, you know yourself, the Irish World Academy, you have great memories there anyway, Sandra. And I'm studying voice there. So I started back in September and I absolutely love it. It's the best course I could have ever chosen. You know, it suits me down to the ground, and it's just, I'm doing something I love every day as well. So to be honest, it's not like college at all, or it's not like working every day when I'm doing assignments and stuff, because I just love doing it so much. So I absolutely am thrilled with the course and how it's going for me.
I'm jealous of you, because if I could go back, so I was in the Irish World Academy. So for those of you that don't know where it is, it's part of the University of Limerick, but anyone who's doing music or dance gets their own building, and it's literally a hub. Now you're doing all online, is that right? You haven't actually
well, no, I was actually every 3 weeks there before Christmas. Every 3 weeks I was up for a week to do a lot of practical stuff. So I was singing and playing piano and songwriting and everything up there. But now since after Christmas I'm gone back more online. So hopefully when the cases start to go down and the lockdowns are lifted as well, I'll be able to go back up. Please God, fingers crossed.
The thing is, you're still only in first year, so you still have 3 years left. So at least, because my memories of being, so yes, I done Irish music and dance, and I was an Irish dancer, but I also done the music as well, because I was pretty much half and half, and it was the best 4 years of my life. If I could go back again, it's amazing, and I'm so excited for you, because you still haven't experienced the full, like, being in college, like normal, like Monday to Friday. There's a lot of online stuff. Oh, yeah. I'm so jealous of you. It's amazing. Yeah. I love it. It's just the best place ever.
It's brilliant. Like, you obviously know the feeling, but it's just so good to be surrounded by people every day that just love the same thing as you. Like, they all love Irish dancing, Irish music, world music, singing. Like, it's just, you feel so motivated coming out of there, because it's just everyone loves doing the same thing. And it's just, when you're in secondary school, like, I know from experience, like in secondary school, there was only, maybe 4 or 5 people my whole year who were into music and singing and trad and stuff. So when I just went up to the Irish World Academy, it was like, whoa, I'm just surrounded by it. I absolutely love it.
I remember when when you're younger, well, when I was younger anyway, there used to be all the Glee had come out and all these shows, and I used to dream of going to this boarding school for dance and voice, but obviously that wasn't really something that was in Ireland at the time. And then, but that's essentially what it is. It is like being in one of them TV shows. It's not like work. It's not like college. It's literally it's just dancing and music all day long and singing. It's a dream. So that's
exactly it. Actually, I don't know at the start. Oh yeah, no, it's just at the start you wouldn't really know what to expect when you're going into a course like that. But like, it's honestly, I couldn't recommend it enough. And for anyone who's listening that would be interested in music, song, or dance, or has any sort of like inkling at all to do something like that, I could not recommend it enough.
No, it's absolutely brilliant. So I suppose I don't need to ask you what's the future career and what way do you want to go, because I think we already know what route you're going, and you had already brought out your album before the Leaving Cert and before COVID. You were very lucky to get your launch in back in January last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I released a 6-track album for the Irish Hospice Foundation back in January, and as you said yourself, I was so lucky to get it out there. But unfortunately, for the lockdowns and stuff, it was very difficult to get, to sell the CD and the album and to get it out to people. It was very difficult, but I was delighted to be able to do it anyway before lockdown came, so I was thrilled. Yeah.
Yeah, and that album is on, well, I'm guessing that's the album that's on Spotify, because last night, I was having a listen last night, as I just say, you hear songs on the radio and you hear artists like yourselves, and you're listening, but it wasn't until I sat down properly last night when I was getting ready for today's interview and listened to you properly. Like, your voice is so strong for someone so young. I mean, like, it's absolutely brilliant. I'm assuming you always sang since you were young.
Yeah, well, to be honest with you, I actually grew up with instruments everywhere in the house and my sisters singing, so I couldn't really miss it. Like, my aunties and uncles all love music as well, and my parents and my grandparents love music, and the radio was on every morning. We had Tip FM on and Tip Midwest Radio, so there'd be something wrong if I didn't go into music or if I wasn't interested.
You had no choice.
I had no choice. Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant. No, to have kicked it all off so young. So I'm guessing down the line, Lord Shearer might be something you'd be interested in. So
yeah, well, I watch Lord Shearer every year, and I think it's brilliant exposure for all the young artists and old artists and everyone, really. It's brilliant. So yeah, it would definitely be something I'm interested in.
Well, I'd say so. Look, you've brought out the album and you were involved with the Cowboys and Heroes competition as well, weren't you? What year was that?
It was 2 years ago now. There's actually a funny story behind it. So I came home from school, and obviously I was obsessed with country music. And nobody in school had any interest whatsoever in country music or jiving. I was the only one. I came home, I saw it on Facebook actually that a search for a country star competition. So I said, I'll give this a rap now. You never know. You've nothing to lose, like that out of Jimmy Buckley. So I came home with the school uniform anyway, and I just stood up there in front of her. I said, Daddy, will you record me singing this now for a few minutes? And he was looking at me like, what in the name of God is this one doing? Like, but I sang Your Wedding Day by Jimmy Buckley, and sure, we sent in the video. We didn't think much of it. I was in the school uniform, like yourself. And then a few weeks later, I was doing a driving test, and the phone was ringing from a Leitrim number, and I had to answer it. We pulled in, and I had to answer it, and they said, "Oh, Aishling, we saw your video, and for the Country Star competition, and you're down to the last 12, so you can come up and perform." And oh my God, I nearly died, but I was absolutely thrilled and over the moon. I came home and I told Daddy, and sure, Daddy couldn't believe it either. The two of us were as shocked as each other.
Oh, that's lovely.
But it was
lovely.
Brilliant. Absolutely loved it.
It's lovely to hear that you it meant so much to you, and fair play to you, and such a lovely song to enter in Your Wedding Day. I love that song. So that was mad 2 years ago. So that would have been the last Cowboys and Heroes, actually, wouldn't it? The last one that went ahead.
It would indeed, yeah.
Yeah. Now I must just apologize.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's scary to think back how long ago.
Absolutely. I don't know if it's coming across to our listeners that my dog is howling in the background, so I'm just going to make note of it. My poor little puppy, 6 months old, seems to be missing me big time and is howling in the kitchen. So I apologize if anyone can hear it. I won't know until I'm listening back. So the pup obviously wants to have a chat. But anyway, I don't know if you can hear it, Aishling, but
no, can't hear a thing.
That's a good sign. So that's a good sign. Okay, so yes, that was Cowboys and Heroes. Yeah. So you were essentially, you were really kicking off the whole singing thing, and then obviously things took a bit of a turn. But I'm saying they took a bit of a turn, but then you started college. So in that sense, it's not like you just stopped singing. You're still actually singing. You're singing probably even more, are you? Even though you're not gigging as much.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I'm in college, and I'm singing every day. I'd say my family are sick to the teeth of listening to me, but I'm singing every day, and I'm learning so much every day as well. So it's absolutely brilliant. So I suppose when lockdown came, it was very, very hard on some people, but I suppose I was lucky that I was actually heading into college to study music and to study singing. So I suppose I was actually fortunate in that sense.
Yeah, timeline wise for you, it's worked out very well, which is great.
Yeah.
And I know, well, look, I'm gone from UL 5, 6, 7 years nearly. But I know when I was there any of the Now we used to call you the Bavads. I don't know if that's what your name is these days, but we used to call your course the Bavads. And as far as I remember, there was no like country music was not a big thing back then. I remember they brought in a country music module when I was in 4th year, and I was all over it. I actually done my thesis on country music when I was in, so yeah, that was 6-7 years ago. So it just shows, I think I was one of the first country heads. It's good to know there's a few more of you still there. That's great.
That's gas. No, and it's kind of I've noticed as well, and even my singing teachers, they say to me there's kind of one person in every 4 years that's obsessed with country music. Like, so I suppose this year I'm that one person in our course that is absolutely obsessed with Louise Morrissey, Tammy Wynette, Dolly Parton. Like, every time we have like a practical singing exam or something, like, you know, the teachers, they don't even have to ask. They're like, they know that there's something country coming, or there's a Dolly Parton song coming or something.
That's lovely though, and I think it's great for the academy to have that influence coming in as well. So that's absolutely brilliant. And how, I know you said that when you were in school there wasn't really many people into country and that kind of thing that was your age, I suppose. How do you ever have any negativity associated with it, or is it always positive amongst your peers, people your own age, that kind of thing?
I have to say now, actually, it's all positive. Thankfully, I'm lucky. You know, my friends are so supportive, and like, they, before the lockdown, they were all planning on coming jiving and everything and seeing me singing. So that was brilliant. You know, it's great because in Tipperary there wouldn't be much young people into country music, but I suppose if I look up around where you are in Mayo or up in Donegal, all the young people are mad about it. So I suppose it's kind of, you know, I don't really know how to explain it, but just in Tipperary there won't be much people, but no, I'm very lucky now. My friends and family are so supportive and they love it, so do I.
When I was 19, you are me. When I was 19, there was no one else into it. Like, when I was down in UL, I wasn't I didn't like going out. I wasn't into the nightclub scene or going down to the pub. I used to go off to the woodlands in a day for the dances. And I'd be looking for a lift, and I'd
be the exact same.
Oh, I used to look for a lift, and I'd get some random, like, not randomer, that sounds awful. I used to get somebody I'd know, obviously. I'd give them a few bob just to drop me up, and then I'd head in on my own. Like, I didn't have known people in there, but like, that's what I was at. But yeah, when I was 19, there wasn't anyone else in school or that was into the country music. So, and I would have actually thought that down your way there would be a lot of interest. So that's interesting to hear.
Well, I have to say now, around North Tipperary, I wouldn't know anyone really that would be into country music, like a young person like myself that'd be into it. I'd say I'd be the only one now, to be honest with you. But yeah.
That's so interesting. No, fair play to you. It's great. And look, the way I look at it is, it's all about the youth coming up. Obviously, we appreciate and we respect all the older singers, and Big Tom that has passed away, or the likes of Philomena Begley or Margot or any of them. But the reality is, it's all about the youth, and it's all about the younger generation that's coming up. Even there on Glorcheer at the moment, Keelan Brown only turned 18. So, I mean, it is about like the likes of yourself and Keelan Brown and all the younger gang. You're the future of it.
Absolutely, yeah, that's for sure.
How does that make you feel? Do you feel the pressure is on?
I wouldn't say pressure now, but you know, it makes me very excited that it's like, Jesus, in a few years, you know, anything I could be on the big stage in a few years at my own band and everything. So, you know, that makes me very excited just to think about the possibilities that the future holds.
Absolutely, it's all ahead of you. That's to be 19 again, I wish, but anyway.
Yeah, fingers and toes crossed.
Yes. Now, one thing, when I was talking to you before the interview, I didn't tell you about our quickfire round, but that's also because it's quickfire for a reason, so I don't want you to have anything prepped. So in our quickfire round, I'm going to just throw out, like, what is there then? There are 10 or 11 questions, and I want one word answers, and it's just, you know, your favorite song or your favorite singer or that kind of thing. So what do you think? Are you up for it?
Sure. We'll have a go anyway and see what happens.
Have a go. Okay, so this is the Quick Fire Round Country Chats podcast with Aishling Rafferty. Okay, Aishling, who is your favorite American country music singer?
Loretta Lynn.
What is your favorite country song just to listen to?
Tipperary on My Mind.
Ooh. Would you prefer playing or singing a jive or a waltz?
Well, that's a tough one. I love them both. I don't think I could choose, but if I had to, it would probably be a jive. Get to see everyone up having the crack.
Lovely. Can you dance?
I can indeed. Myself and Daddy go well, before lockdown we used to go jiving every weekend. You could find us anywhere.
But I'm glad to hear that. So as a dance teacher, I'm happy. Tick, you can dance. Who is your favourite Irish singer?
It's hard to pick, but Louise Morrissey would be up there now, a Tipperary woman as well. She'd be up there. Yeah.
Do you prefer
I love them all though.
That's good. You have to stay neutral.
Now you said it.
Do you prefer to gig at a concert or a dance?
A concert, because you feel like you connect a lot more with everyone, and there's a more sense of connection, I think, between the audience and the singer.
Very good. What is your favourite venue to gig in?
I like the Well in Moat.
Good. Who is your biggest fan?
My daddy.
I knew you were going to say that.
110%, my biggest fan, yeah.
Lovely. Do you play any instruments?
I do. I play the guitar and I play the keyboard as well.
Okay, and do you play them when you're singing?
Well, before lockdown now I wouldn't have, but since lockdown has come, I've been practicing every day and I've gotten so much more confident as well with them. So the second the lockdown is over and I'm out singing, I'll have the guitar with me or I'll have the keyboard, one or the other.
Oh, that's brilliant. Fair play to you. What is your favourite local radio station?
Tip FM or Tip Midwest Radio. They're both on par. I love them both. If one's not on, the other is.
Very good. And what is your favourite song to sing?
Probably my latest release, Darling Say You Love Me When I'm Old. It's a lovely old time waltz and I love seeing people dance. I feel like social dancers as well would absolutely love dancing to it. So I love that one.
And last one, tell us something we don't know about you. If you can think of something.
I love to bake, actually. Every weekend, every Saturday or Sunday morning, I'm up baking a cake or buns or cookies or something. I love it. It's a great pastime. I love it. When I'm not singing, I'm baking.
That's lovely. Fair play to you. Jeez, I'd say they love it in your house. You're baking and keeping them entertained. Fair play to you. You survived the quick fire round.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good. What was I going to say? From listening to you, you seem like you have, I hope you don't mind me saying it, you seem to have an old head on your shoulders. You're into the old school country. Am I right in saying that? You seem to love your slow sets and Louise Morrissey and your older singer, Loretta Lynn. Am I right?
Yeah. Absolutely, 110% spot on there. No, I grew up listening to all that sort of music as well. Myself and Daddy have the exact same taste. So he could hear a song that I can say, I should have a listen to that. And I could hear the same sort of song. And for some reason, it always turns out to be an old Irishy country kind of a song. So we both have the same taste. So we're always listening to the same music. So, I they're my favorite sort of songs and everything. So yeah.
I love that. I just think it's that bit different. I think, some artists are going like right straight head into modern and kind of very the American twang of country, which is lovely and it's great. And I love listening to it as well. But you know what, for someone so young, I think it's great that you're respecting the older heads and the older gang, and just fair play to you. I just think it's absolutely brilliant. Like, because I mean, I think, and when I'm teaching my kids, I do tell them, not my kids, my dancing kids, I did tell them, obviously they know who Nathan Carter is and Derek Ryan and Lisa McHugh and them gang, but I also want them to know who Big Tom is and who Margot is and who Philomena Begley is, because that's where it all kicked off. So there's, that's where it started. So they have to know that sort of stuff.
Absolutely, yeah.
No, it's absolutely brilliant. Yeah, so quick fire round. I've learned loads about you there. It's brilliant. And I thought you were going to say a concert over a dance. I feel like I already have you sussed out.
I know, but sure, look, it was an experience, the quick fire round, definitely. You caught me on the spot there for a few of them.
That's it. I know. And that's really the best thing, because I think
joys.
You get the most authentic answer then as well. So it turns out lovely.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that was a quick fire round. And something else, you were involved in the Reach Out song as well, weren't you?
I was, absolutely. I think the video was released during the week there. It was brilliant as well. And I was so happy I got to take a phone call actually from an elderly man in a nursing home I used to sing in before lockdown. His name is Pat. I'm sure he'll be listening in whenever this goes out. But Pat O'Rourke is his name. So hello, Pat, if you're going to be watching or listening. and he's a very big fan. And we do, well, before the lockdown, we used to have absolutely great crack singing in the nursing home. I don't know if you know the song Golden Jubilee, but it's Take Off That Hat, Me Darling Pat. And sure, Pat would take off the hat and throw it up in the air and we'd have right crack all together. But he's an absolute dote, and I was so happy to get a phone call, or to give him a phone call, and he was just in great mood from it. And we actually done a FaceTime as well. And this was, I think, the week before Valentine's Day. And then on Valentine's Day, I actually got a lovely Valentine's card from him as well. So it was great crack all together. He's an absolute dote.
That is so lovely. And I mean, that means, I know obviously it was lovely for you to be able to ring him, but for him, I'm sure like that meant so much. And I think I read somewhere all right that you'd go down to the nursing home and sing for them. Have you done it this year, or was it more so last year?
Well, I was doing it, well, when the lockdowns were lifted, I didn't go into the nursing homes, but I stood outside and I had my gear with me and an umbrella if necessary. And I was singing outside through a glass window. So even at that, we still had great crack. So it was brilliant. I love going around to the nursing homes. I love it.
That is so lovely. And it means so much to them. And like that, you're singing. The thing about it is, you know what songs to sing for them.
Oh,
yeah,
they love all the old Irish songs. Absolutely love them. And I love them as well. So it's a great match.
You have to play to your crowd. You couldn't be going too modern on them.
Exactly. They don't want any American songs now down there in the nursing homes.
Oh, no, that's lovely. And I mean, look, it does mean the world to them. And look, obviously it's beneficial for them, but it's great for yourself to be out singing as well. I mean, it's beneficial for everyone. And the Reach Out program is beneficial for everyone. It gives the people that are receiving the calls the feel good and the feel great after having a chat, but it also gives the artists a feel good. Like it's lovely just chatting away to people like this. Even I look forward to these interviews. Like it's just lovely to not meet someone, but to be able to chat someone new, kind of, in that kind of a way.
Exactly. It actually does you the world of good as well. Even today, throwing on a bit of makeup and doing the hair and just getting enough to have a chat with someone. And even, I think it's brilliant, and it's very good for your head as well.
Absolutely.
Does you the world of good.
Absolutely, you're dead right. Yeah, putting on the bit of makeup, and I love meeting everyone on the Zooms, whether I've met them or not before. Some people I have interviewed, I have already met and I know, but it's lovely just meeting everyone and getting to know everyone. And do you know what, this podcast for me is just, it's so enjoyable. And I love giving people like yourself another platform to promote yourselves. Now, I'm actually, speaking of promoting yourself, with regards to the album, can people still buy it, or what's the story there? And who was it? Who were you raising money for again? Tell us.
So I have 50% of the proceeds were going to the Irish Hospice Foundation. And if anybody would like to purchase a copy of it, they can message me on Facebook. It's Aishling Rafferty Music. And you can message me and we can arrange it there.
Go, and there's 6 songs on it. And sure, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you buy it? How much is it, Aishling?
€10.
Oh, well, now, come on. That €10 is nothing. So you should all be going on to Aishling's Facebook page. You've actually, what is it, about 4,000 likes you have on the Facebook page? You're flying.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And it was so funny. When I first released my first song I ever released was There's a New Moon Over My Shoulder. And it was so funny. We were looking back, I said, geez, I have no video up on Facebook for that. And I was thinking, sure, I didn't even have a music Facebook page back then. I think it just shows how much I'm after coming on in the last while, even since last Christmas 2 years ago. The difference is just unreal. And people actually listen to my music on Spotify and everything. I was just looking, you can see the amount of people who listen in and stuff, so it's just unreal to look at it. And then every day I wake up and I'm just pinch me, is this really happening?
So I'm guessing you probably have a lot of maybe not even plans, but when all this is over, you probably have a lot of different things that you want to achieve or to do or to get to, I suppose, a few different plans in place.
Yeah, definitely. Every year I set kind of a bucket list and all the things I want to achieve on it. And one of them this year was to get a #1 on iTunes, which I've done. Thank God. I'm delighted. And thanks so much to everyone as well who bought the song. It was brilliant to get it to #1. It's actually my second #1 now, so I'm thrilled. And another one was to do a podcast. And I'm after doing a podcast here today. So I've loads of things planned. I just can't wait for lockdown, please God, to be lifted soon so I can get a start on the rest of them.
That's it. And look, at least you have college going, so your voice, you're using your voice every day, and as well as that, you've any amount of time for planning and plotting, and it's great to have the guitar and the keyboard. That will make such a difference going forward for you as well.
Absolutely, that's for sure. It's even great, even when I'm sitting at home practicing, I can turn on the backing track and pull out the guitar. Me and Daddy will sit down here in the sitting room and we'll just play along and see if it's working. And sure, if it doesn't work, you can go again, or you can try it with the keyboard or anything. So it's brilliant just to keep practicing as well.
That's the beauty. I mean, look, obviously COVID has all its negatives, but the amount of positives getting to where I'm sure you've worked on a total new set list and new songs and old songs, and that's the beauty of it all. You know, there's plenty of time. Yes, it can be tough and no gigs and that, but every artist in Ireland's going to have 5 or 6 brand new playlists now after all this.
Absolutely, and I was so lucky as well. The recording studio where I record is not too far away either. Peter Maher Middlewalk Studios. So in the first lockdown, I just had loads of songs got together, and I was planning on doing an album this year as well. So I said, here, we'll get a kickstart on that. So I started picking songs for a new album, my second album. So I was very busy doing that, and I'd say I could have had maybe 50 songs picked. Obviously, I couldn't go with an album with 50 songs, but I spent lots. The first lockdown was really spent picking songs and seeing what works and what doesn't work. Then as soon as the lockdown lifted, we were straight up to the studio and started recording. So that'll be coming out later this year as well. So I'm so excited for that. So I suppose I've lockdown to thank for that as well, that it actually gave me a chance to work on a new album.
That is absolutely brilliant. The amount you have achieved in literally a year. I mean, lockdown was definitely your friend with all this. So you're hoping the album to come out next year, is it? Or this year?
No, it'll be late this year.
Lovely. Christmas album, maybe.
And And I've actually released a single from it already. That was Darling Say You Love Me When I'm Old. That was the first single I released from it. And I have a new single coming as well in the next 1 to 2 weeks. And that's taken from it as well. And I'm so excited for this single. It's real summery, kind of, the weather is getting good and everything. So I feel like it's really uplifting. And I'm so excited for everyone to hear it.
Oh, that's great. So we can look forward to that. Oh, it's so exciting. You know, it's lovely to hear a positive story and a good news story, and how well you've took to lockdown and you've embraced every moment of it. It sounds you haven't wasted any time.
That's for sure. No, I suppose you just have to kind of be as positive as you can. I know it's so tough with everything, and some people have their whole lives taken away and their livelihoods taken away, but I was just lucky the way it worked out, thank God.
Oh no, that is so brilliant. So you mentioned people can find you on Facebook, isn't that right? Is it just Facebook, or have you got YouTube or anything like that?
Yeah, so Facebook and YouTube, Aishling Rafferty Music. You can find me there and watch all my videos and keep up to date with all my news on the two of them as well. And of course, Spotify and iTunes and all the musical platforms as well. You can listen to my music as well.
Oh, that's so handy. Yeah, Spotify is where I was listening to you last night. So that was great. And so you said we've a new single to look forward to. I would say the new single will be coming out probably around the time that I'm putting this episode out. So we'll be able to link the two together.
Perfect.
And so if you do want to mention the name of it, you can, because this will be coming out when it's out.
I might keep it all under wraps for now.
I like it. This is great. There's going to be even more suspense waiting for this song. Oh, I like it.
I know. I'll keep it under wraps for now, and I'll have a big surprise then when it comes out, and hopefully the weather will be good and everyone will be out dancing and having the crack to it. So
that sounds good. So look, you heard it here. There is a new single coming out. We don't know what it is yet, but I'll be keeping an eye on the Facebook page to see what it is. It might be out yet. I'm not sure yet. Depends when this episode goes out. Go and have a quick look on the Facebook page just to see is it out. And while you're over on the Facebook page, if you haven't already liked it, go and like the page. Okay, have you that done? Hopefully you've got that done anyway. Aishling, it's been lovely talking to you and getting to meet you. And you know what? Even though look, it's virtual, it does feel like that I am meeting you. Do you know, if I met you now on the street, it'd be as if I know you, and that's what I love about these podcasts. You're essentially meeting people.
Exactly, that's the beauty of it as well, I suppose, isn't it?
Absolutely. So as Aishling said, you can check her out on Facebook, Aishling Rafferty Music, and she's our YouTube, and you can listen to her music on YouTube, or iTunes and Spotify and all them different platforms. And I think we'll definitely be keeping an eye on this young lady, 19 years of age, and so much achieved already, and lots more to come, no doubt. So Aishling, thank you so much for being a guest on the Country Chats podcast.
No problem at all. I was absolutely delighted. And as I said, it's my first podcast ever to do, so I'm delighted with that. So thanks very much, Sandra, for having me as well.
No problem, Aishling. And thank you guys for tuning in to another episode. And we'll see you for next week's episode. Slán.